Hello students, our next topic from chapter 13 magnetic effects of electric current is force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. So as this name suggests, there will be application of force on a current carrying conductor if it is placed in a magnetic field. So this concept is very important, and it is the basis of, or we can say it is a principle of, electric motor also, right? So this concept is understood with the help of an activity. This activity 13.7 itself becomes very important. In this case, one circuit is considered here. Over here you can see the circuit is with the battery, a key, and the wires hanging through a stand, right? With the wire, a rod AB is attached, which is an aluminum rod taken, right? And this is the complete circuit. Okay, so rod AB is a conductor, that is aluminum, or we can take any type of conductor, and here's a red color U-shaped magnet is creating a magnetic field. Here magnet is a horseshoe magnet. The shape of the magnet is known as horseshoe magnet, and it is very strong magnet, so that it produces a strong magnetic field in this region. Okay, and in this magnetic field, this rod AB is placed actually. So it is a 2D view. On the paper the diagram is given, but we have to imagine it like 3D view, that horseshoe magnet is having this shape, U shape, and the rod AB is placed in this, like this, a pen. So suppose this pen is a rod AB, and this is actually movable. Okay, why it is movable? Why I'm saying, because it is hanging from the wires and it is free to move whenever any force is applied on it. Okay, so the magnetic field and the electric current is there. Okay, so here the application of force will be there, that is this our topic. Okay, let us consider the horseshoe magnet. For better understanding, I have made a small horseshoe magnet with the paper, and suppose this is a rod, and this rod is hanging with the help of the electric wires or conducting wires, in which through which the current can flow in this rod, aluminum rod. So this is horseshoe magnet. If it is placed like this, then your rod is like this. Okay, so your rod is like this, in between the, it is like this. So this is the 3D view. We can better understand this. Okay, so this rod is actually freely movable, so it is free to move whenever a force is applied. Okay, it may move upside, downside, left, right, like this. Okay, so how the force is applied, and what will happen to the movement of this rod AB, this we will discuss now. Okay, so the situation we have understood, how the horseshoe magnet is placed and how the rod is being placed near to that. So in this horseshoe magnet, the lower portion in the diagram, this one lower portion is showing the north pole. That means I will consider this as the north pole and this as a south pole according to the diagram. And from north to south, from below to upward, the magnetic field direction will be there. From north to south, always the magnetic field direction is taken. Okay, so the magnetic field is downward to upward. Fine, and the current direction is considered as from B to A, from that side to this side, like from this. Okay, from this side the current is coming in the rod AB. So the current direction is this and magnetic field direction is down to up, towards upward, right? Now if the current direction is this and magnetic field direction is this, then how will I find the direction of force in this case? The direction of force is given by Fleming's left hand rule. Now what is Fleming's left hand rule? Left hand, in left hand we are having thumb, we are having the first finger, that is forefinger or index finger, and we are having the middle finger. These three fingers, thumb, first finger and the middle finger, these three fingers are stretched like this. Okay, if these three fingers are stretched like this, then we consider this as a magnetic field direction, we consider this as a current direction, then the thumb direction will show us the direction of force. Okay, so we can define we can define Fleming's left hand rule as, if we stretch our three fingers like thumb, forefinger and the middle finger in perpendicular manner to each other, then the forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field and the middle finger shows the direction of current, electric current, then the thumb will be showing us the direction of force experienced by the freely suspended rod over here, or it may be experienced by freely suspended magnet if the magnet is freely suspended, whatever is the case. Okay, so Fleming's left hand rule we have understood. Now this rule we will be applying on this situation. Okay, so the situation is from B to A the direction of current, from B to A the direction of current, and what is the direction of magnetic field? Direction of magnetic field is from down to upward. Okay, from down to upward. Direction of current is this one, in this direction. Then what is the direction of force? Direction of force is coming out to be towards left side, towards my left side. Okay, so in this case the direction of current is this, direction of magnetic field is this, and the rod will be going towards left side, so the force will be acting in the left direction for this case. Similarly, we can apply this type of rule in any case wherever we are having a magnetic field, permanent magnetic field, like with the help of any kind of magnet, and we are having a electric current carrying conductor, then that force we can find out the direction of that force. Now the question comes into our mind always, that why this force is being generated, or why this force is acting on the this object. Okay, this force is nothing but the because of the interaction of two types of magnetic fields. One is the permanent magnetic field of the horseshoe magnet, and another is the magnetic field created around a straight current carrying conductor over here, around the aluminum rod. Whenever current is flowing in a aluminum rod in the direction from B to A, there will be a magnetic field, as we have studied in our previous topics. So that magnetic field due to electric current and the permanent magnetic field due to this horseshoe magnet, they both will interact and they will generate a force, and that force will be experienced by a freely suspended material. If it is rod or if it is a magnet, that will be experiencing that force. Now important thing in this case is, whenever the current direction reverses, then what will happen to the direction of force? if current direction reverses. See, if we can find out the answer from Fleming's left hand rule itself, if the current direction reverses, what will happen to the direction of force? Okay, so current direction is was this in this direction, like this. Current is this direction, magnetic field is upward direction, and like this I can say current is this direction, magnetic field is upward direction, then your force was in this direction. Okay, if current direction reverses, my hand is moving like this, current direction opposite hogi. Okay, magnetic field remains the same, then what is the direction of force? It will be completely opposite, that is, it was left earlier, now it is showing right side. Okay, now what will happen if the magnetic field direction reverses? Magnetic field was towards upward, now if I reverses, it should be showing downward. So current direction should remain same in that case. Current direction is towards me, so magnetic field is downward, so again my thumb is changing direction. Okay, now if both current and magnetic field will change the direction, for example, this was the case, so current and magnetic field both are changing direction, that means current direction should be that side and magnetic field downward. First of all, I will do magnetic field downward and current direction that side. So it is, the thumb is showing left side only, so it is not changing. So if it concludes that if our current direction reverses, then force direction also reverses. If our magnetic field direction reverses, then also force direction reverses. But if both the magnetic field and current direction reverses, then the force direction will remain same. So this is very, very important, so I will write it down to make it more clear and memorable. If current direction reverses, it will change the direction of force also reverses. If magnetic field reverses, then also force reverses. If current as well as magnetic field both are reversing the direction, in this case the force direction remains same. Okay, so this is very, very important for this topic, right? Here one of the example is given. These type of questions are very, very important in your NCERT book, that is based on your Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, so this example is very, very important, and similar questions are also very important. So if we understand this concept, then we can do similar questions based on that. So let us read and understand this question. Example 13.2. An electron enters a magnetic field at right angles to it as shown in the figure. This is the figure. Electron is entering like this. Okay, and it is at the right angles to the magnetic field. What is this? This is magnetic field shown. Okay, so these are parallel lines, so it is showing uniform magnetic field actually. The direction of force acting on the electron will be, so electron direction is given, magnetic field direction is given, so force direction can be found using the Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, so in Fleming's left hand rule, we should know the direction of magnetic field and we should know the direction of current, then only we can tell the direction of force. But here the current direction is not given. Indirectly electron direction is given. Electron movement is towards this side, so what will be the current direction? It will be completely opposite to the electron movement, because we know in chapter electricity we have understood that electron movement is completely opposite to the direction of current. So what is the direction of current? Towards upside. So current direction is upside, magnetic field is this side. Okay, we keep our fingers like this. Current direction this, magnetic field, this. Okay, this is magnetic field, this is our current direction upward, and what is the direction of force? It is, my thumb is going inside the page, so the force will be inside the page. So what is the option? To the right, to the left, out of the page, into the page. So what should be the answer? Your answer should be into the page. Your force will be directed into this page, into the plane. So it is all three-dimensional view we have to keep in our mind, because this is three dimensions, x-axis, y-axis, and this is z-axis. Okay, so that we have to understand and remember. Fine. So these type of questions are very very important according to the MCQ purpose also. Okay, there is one more question on the next page that I will discuss. A positively charged particle projected towards west is deflected towards north by a magnetic field. Okay, the direction of magnetic field is, what should be the direction of magnetic field? We have to tell the direction of magnetic field, that is this. Okay, so positively charged particle, that is alpha particle. If a positively charged particle is directing towards west and is deflected towards north by a magnetic field, so magnetic field is there and a positively charged particle, so we will draw north, south, east and west. The question is saying that the charged particle projected towards the west, it is projected towards west, it is going towards west, and is deflected towards north. Towards north it is deflecting, so it is moving like this towards the north. It is going, it is projected towards this direction, and then it is, because of magnetic field, force is applied and it is moving in this northward direction. What is the direction of magnetic field? Magnetic field direction I want to know. So force is in this direction and movement is in this direction. Two directions are given. We want to know the direction of magnetic field. So what is this direction? North. There is a force, that is why the object is moving towards this, and this is the projection direction, that is towards the west. It is directed, it is moving. So what is that moving particle? Alpha particle, that is positively charged particle. So the current direction and the positively charged particle direction remains same always, because positively charged particle goes opposite to the negatively charged particle, and negatively charged particle, that is electron, always opposite to the direction of current, that is I. So positively charged particle and I are moving in the same direction. So if it is given that a positively charged particle is moving in this direction, that means the current direction is also the same. Okay, so current direction is given like west direction. Okay, and the force is towards the upward side, that is north direction. So west, it is west, and it is west, it is west, and it is north. Okay, so what is the direction of magnetic field? It is upward, it should be upward. So your answer should be upward in this question. Answer should be upward. Okay, now our next topic based on this concept, force on a current carrying conductor, is electric motor. That is very very important device. This device is nothing but it is changing electrical energy into mechanical energy. So what is this device? It is changing electrical energy into mechanical energy. So if we want to define this device, then we will define it in this manner. Okay, and what is the principle of this electric motor? Principle is the same that we have studied just now the topic, that is the force should act on a current carrying conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field. This is the principle on which the electric motor works. So that means there must be magnetic field present in the case of electric motor, and there must be some current carrying conductor. As we know, it is using electrical energy, so current carrying conductor must be there, right? So let us understand first of all the construction of your electric motor. In your books, the diagram is little bit in a view of 3D view. Okay, so we have to keep our mind in 3D view also. Okay, but to understand the working, we can have a 2D diagram. So from this diagram, we first of all we have to understand that what are the parts. This is north pole and this is south pole of a magnet, which is creating a magnetic field. So north to south, that means direction of magnetic field is towards this side, that means my right side. Okay, and what it is a rectangular shape coil made up of only a single wire. Okay, A, B, C, D is the name of the rectangular coil. Along with the rectangular coil, attached towards one side is a split ring, that is towards one side half split ring, and towards the other side CD, there is another half of the split ring, right? And these split rings are attached with the battery along with the brushes. Using these contact brushes, conducting brushes, we are attaching this split ring as well as the rectangular coil and making a contact so that the current flows continuously into the whole rectangular coil always. Okay, whenever we start using a switch, then we will always be having a connection so that the current is flowing always. Okay, and what is the movable part? The movable part is a rectangular coil which will be moving round and round because of the application of force. Okay, and which is non-moving part, that is a battery and till brushes. Okay, the split rings are the thing that is being moved along with the rectangular coil, and these split rings are attached on an axle. Axle is a insulating cylindrical structure along which it is, these split rings are attached, right? And there is a small gap between these that we can see over here. So this small gap is making the current direction flowing in unidirectional way, that is giving us the DC motor, right? So over here we can see the diagram in an easier manner. We should have a rectangular coil. First of all, I'll make a rectangular coil A, B, C, D, which is attached with the split ring. Split rings are one complete ring split it into two parts like this. If this is a complete ring, then split it into two parts, so it is like this type of structure. And if this type of structure is placed on a cylindrical shape, then in this we are having a cylinder and then split rings are placed. So split rings can be movable in this manner. Okay, so over here split rings are shown like this. Okay, these split rings are attached with the brushes. These are carbon brushes which are conducting and making a contact continuously with the split rings even if they are moving. Okay, so this is brush B1, you can see this is brush B2, this is ring split ring R1, this is split ring R2. And what else we are having? Magnet, that is north and south pole of the magnet. So in this case, a battery is provided for flowing of the current direction, like this. Magnets are provided for the magnetic field. Magnetic field is in this direction. If there is a magnetic field and there is a current carrying conductor, then force will be applied, like in that activity we have studied. Okay, and force will be applied in which direction? That is given by Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, now the current direction, first of all we will understand. The current direction is like this. Through the conducting brushes, I told you brushes are conducting, but they are still, they are stationary and they will not be moving. Which part is moving? This part is moving. If it is moving, and it will be keep in touch with the brush. Okay, so if it is moving like this, so brush is over here and it is moving like this. Okay, so if anything is moving, so brush is over here, so it will make a contact continuously. Contact is not left behind. Fine. So these split rings are having a contact with the brushes, so current starts flowing from this direction to this direction and this direction and then this. Okay, so like this current is flowing in the rectangular coil. Now how it works, the basic principle we know, that is based on the force, okay, that is acting. Now the direction of force, if we know, then we will be able to understand in which direction this rectangular coil will move. Okay, for better understanding of the movement, we have a 3D view of this paper so that the movement can be shown. This is a rectangular coil, like this I have made rectangular coil along with the split rings with the paper I have made. Okay, so this split ring and rectangular coil is a movable part. I have made it so that I can show you the movement of this. Okay, on the paper we cannot see the movement, right? Now what will happen? Current is flowing in this direction AB. We will take only side AB to understand the direction of force. If the current direction is this and the magnetic field is this, both are perpendicular, this and this perpendicular, okay, then what is the direction of force? So current direction according to Fleming's left hand rule, like this. Current direction, what is the magnetic field? It is like this, magnetic field is like this, so current direction we should know like this, and magnetic field in this direction. Okay, so where is my thumb? Thumb is in the downward direction or into the page, into this plane. So this AB side will experience the force and it will move inside. Okay, so if it is like this is AB, so this AB side will move inside. It will move inside like this into the plane. Okay, this AB side, and AB side is completely attached with all other things, so all other things will also move. So like this it will move. AB will move towards the page, into the page. Okay, now on the side CD the current direction is reversing. Okay, and magnetic field is like this. So current direction is like this, magnetic field is like this. So what is the direction of force? It is upward. So according to this, CD side should experience a force in the upward direction and AB should experience in the downward direction. Okay, so this side will move downward and this side will move upward. So it will move like this. Okay, it will move like this. Okay, this side down and this side up, so it is like this. If it is moving like this, so it will completely invert, and if it is inverting along with the split rings, it is inverting. Okay, so this side split ring which is B2 which is R2 is coming towards this side and attaching with the B1. It will be like this. It will be coming towards this. After half rotation, 180-degree rotation, this side brush will come over this side, and vice versa. This side ring will go to this side. So what will happen in the next case, I can draw a little bit. In the next case, the brushes are like this. Brushes will remain same, B1 and B2, and this ring is now R1 and this ring is now R2. R1 gets attached with B2 and R2 gets attached with B1, and this is completely inverted, so this side is now A and this side is now B and this is C, now this is D. So it is inverted after half rotation. After half rotation, this is the situation. Okay, now again after half rotation, if this is the situation, the current direction remains the same in this case like this, because brushes are not movable, they are not moving and they are stationary over here. Okay, so current direction in CD branch is now like this, from D to C. Earlier it was from C to D in this branch. Because it has inverted now, the current direction is reversing. Okay, so why it is so? It is just because of the split rings. Rings are splitted and they are inverting. Okay, so split ring here can be called as commutator. It is reversing the direction of current in a branch of rectangular coil, so it is acting as a commutator. Commutator is a device which reverses the direction of current. So here split rings are acting as a commutator. Okay, so what will happen to the force over here? In this case also, the current direction is like AB, similar to the previous one. So AB was moving downward, so in this case also CD was moving downward, and this will move upward again. So what will happen? CD will move downward and AB will move upward like this. So it is completing one rotation. Again the force will be applied. It is moving downward, it is moving upward, then this, then again this side force will be applied downward, then upward, then like this. So it is completing one rotation every time like this. Okay, one rotation, then again force applied, one rotation, again force applied, one rotation, like this. If I see this setup from upside, okay, so it is moving like this. मैं इसको above side कर देती हूँ, that is like this. So if it is moving like this, what is the direction of the movement? What is the direction of the movement of this rectangular coil? What is the direction? It is moving in this direction, that is a clockwise direction. Okay, so clockwise rotation of the rectangular coil we can understand in this manner. If the current direction reverses from the beginning, then it will become anti-clockwise rotation. So whatever we want, we can make the motor rotate. Fine. So this type of working can be understood in two steps. First is half rotation and then another half rotation. Complete 360-degree rotation can be explained in working of electric motor. Now for commercial motors, we do not use the rectangular coil. Okay, we use many turns coils. Okay, first of all, and for the case of magnets, we use electromagnets because they are more stronger in place of these simple magnets, simple permanent magnets in commercial motors. Okay, one more thing, we use armature in as a whole along with the soft iron core, which is wounded with number of coils, many coils. Okay, so where is armature? This side is the armature. Number of coils are increased, and inside this there is a soft iron core. Okay, so that complete setup along with the soft iron core and the number of coils, many number of coils, is known as armature. So in commercial motors we generally used armature over here, and we use electromagnets over here in place of permanent magnets. Okay, what why it is so? It will enhance the power of our electric motor. Hope you understood this topic well. Okay, thank you.